I keep trying to get on here and do a video, but every time I pick up my phone, my prayer doesn't work right. So I think that I'm supposed to place my phone down and I'm just supposed to allow what is supposed to be said just to flow. But listen, I'm just on here because I just feel like the move of God. I feel the hand of God. I feel the spirit of God surrounding us right now in this space. I know that there are so many of us that are hurting, that are going through things right now, and that we don't have anyone to talk to, or we feel like we don't have anyone to just give us a hug, to just make us feel the way that we need to feel, or whatever that may be. But I'm just here to tell you that I got a download this morning, and in my prayer life and in my posture of prayer, I heard what God spoke to me, and what he gave me was this. Baby, sometimes that prayer just need to be position me, place me in a position where I can be found by what it is that you have for me, so that I'm not seeking anything outside of the will that is supposed to be for my life. And God, I want to thank you for that on this morning. I want to thank you for removing the things that no longer serve me, for just seeing what I might not be able to see through these physical eyes, but you already seen it through spiritual eyes, that it was already worked out for my good. And even though I might be looking at it like it might not be for my good, because it might have caused me some discomfort, because it might have caused me some discomfort and some pain, but God, guess what? It was never in vain. It was never in vain. It was never in vain. So you have to be able to pick yourself up by the bootstraps. You have to be able to pour from a place of strength. You have to be able to just know that what's for you will never ever pass you. I have been, like I said, going through so many spiritual tests this week, and it's been test after test after test after test. And then my phone broke, and then I fell in the shower and I bruised my whole right arm, and then this happened, and then I wasn't able to get on social media, and then this happened, and then the person that came into my space with this amazing energy started going away from my space, and it caused me to have to question myself. But in the midst of having to question myself, I had to dig a little bit deeper. I had to sit a little bit. I had to do some shadow work. I had to go within my inner child. I had to realize that it wasn't about him, that it was more so about me, and whatever the lesson is that it was coming to teach me. And guess what? There is no need to settle for anything that is beneath you, because whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that you desire, it desires you too. And you just have to be in a position to be found. Not look for it, but just be still and be found, and do the work, and continue to do the work on you, and continue to admit that this is where I am in my journey, that this is where I am in my healing, that this is where I am, and what I desire is this. And when a person cannot give it to you, it is perfectly okay to say, no, that does not serve me. No, that is not what I want. And it doesn't have to be no more than that. But the problem is we question our intuition. We get so wrapped up in our minds, and then we seek validation for something that God has already told us, for something that God has already shown us. God has already given you a glimpse of your future. He has already shown you a promise of your life, but you kind of forgot about the promise. But it's in those moments that when shit look like it's breaking, and shit look like it's all going to hell, and shit look like it's falling apart, and you feel like your chest is about to jump out of your fucking skin, and your heart is pounding, and anxiety kicks in, and you don't understand this and you don't understand that you got to remember the promise. It's in those moments that you have to remember the promise. Remember the vision. Remember that night 5 years ago when you had that dream, when God showed you a future glimpse of what was to come. Remember the promise in those moments. Remember that when you sleeping alone and by yourself, that you know what, that you can hug yourself and you can love on yourself and be okay in that space, because that's what healing yourself is all about. That's what being on a self-love journey is all about. It's about loving you to the capacity at which you pour, so that someone else that pours at that same capacity is able to come back up and pour from their cup. And when they pour from their cup, it's not that they're pouring from a place that's going to leave them depleted, but they're pouring from a place of overflow. You want people to be able to pour into you that's pouring from a place of overflow. God positioned me to pour from a place of overflow to those who might need my words, to those who might need a hug, to those who might need a touch, that might feel like you don't exist, that their life is to shit, that they don't know how they're going to make it, that they don't understand the why, that they don't want to get up out of bed because depression has kicked in and suicidal thoughts have started to overtake them. Guess what, baby? I've been there. So I can only speak to you from a place of experience. I have given away so many broken pieces of me, but I could put them back differently now. I'm sorry. I could put them back differently now, and I don't have to settle for things that don't make me feel good. And it's okay to say no to the things that don't make you feel good. If people in your space and in your energy are around and it's not the way that it makes you feel, they're not making you feel the way that you deserve to feel, the way that you know you want to feel, it just means that they're not supposed to be a part of the plan. And it is okay. It is okay. It is perfectly okay for you to feel like that and for you to say no, that this no longer serves me. Thank you for your part in my story. But now I'm rewriting a different story. And maybe it's not supposed to include you at this time, and that's okay. And you don't have to apologize. You don't have to seek validation. You don't have to ask other people if you're right. You want to be so wrong in the way that you're feeling so that you don't have to let go of the thing that's giving you the bad feeling. That don't work like that. Let it go and stop venting. Like, I'm learning to just be still. I don't have to vent what I'm going through to everybody. Maybe it's the time where everything was going left and everybody was disappearing and the phone broke and I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that because God said, come to me. Come sit and talk to me. Sit still in your secret place. Sit still and just hear what it is that I have to say. And when I woke up this morning, that's my prayer. God, I see you. I hear you. And guess what? Position me to be found by what it is that has already been written and aligned for me. And it's okay. And I find comfort in it, and I find peace in that. I find peace in just being able to come on here and spill this and just get this off of my chest, get this out of my heart. Because I know it's someone somewhere else that's feeling the same way. As a matter of fact, I talked to a few people yesterday that were feeling the same way. And that was confirmation for me to know, guess what? You're not alone. You're not the only one that's going through this or feeling like this or going through that and questioning if you're supposed to take the position. Is this the right job for me? I don't know. And da-da-da-da. Because we get so comfortable in stagnant places, but nothing grows in stagnation. Nothing grows in stagnation. So it's like, okay, I surrender. Have you ever just been in a space where you just have to surrender? God, I surrender. Today I surrender. I surrender to you. I surrender. Spirit, I trust you. Even though I might not understand, but I trust you. Man, listen, I'm done. Listen, I'm done. I'm done. I love you and I'm praying for you because I'm praying for me. So when I sit still in meditation, guess what? I'm listening for the message. Because if it's not for me, it's for you. And I don't have a problem with being in a space now that I can stand in my personal truth and be able to say that. I know what I want. I know what I desire. I know what I deserve. And some people had to be cut away because they no longer serve the purpose. And be okay with that, because what is taken away just means that it's about to be replaced with something better. I promise you that. And I want you to be able to come on here and tell me when that better comes, because I feel the rain, baby. The rains is coming. You feel that? And it's raining torrential blessings upon blessings upon blessings. So don't give up. Do that inner work. Learn whatever that is that's happening. What is it coming to teach you? What is it triggering with inside of you that your inner child needs to heal, or whatever that is? What is this coming to show me about me? Don't worry about the other person. Worry about you and figure that part out. Because I guarantee you, you're going to be able to dig so deep inside of you. You're going to be able to dig to the crevices of what really is the basis of your healing. The places that you need to heal that you probably wasn't able to recognize. So this is a test. This is a test, and it's going to be up to you whether you pass or fail. But get out of your feelings and get into your logic. I don't even know if that's saying it right, but get out of your feelings and get into your heart space. Get into your heart space. This is how I feel. This is why I feel the way that I feel. This is what I'm learning from this experience, from this feeling, from being able to sit with my emotions. If you need to cry it out, you need to have a glass of wine, whatever it is that you need to do. Maybe you need to eat it out. Whatever it is, be okay in that moment doing just that. But then rest easy, knowing that it is a possibility, the greater the possibility for you to wake up tomorrow refreshed and renewed. And praying that prayer, oh baby, I'm in a position to be found by what is already ordained for me. And you smile at that shit. You smile because you already know, baby, I love with such a great capacity that this ain't for everybody. And when you can't fill me back up and you're constantly draining me, you don't need to be a part of my program. You don't need to be a part of my vision. You don't need to be a part of my picture. And that's okay. We have to stop holding on to people who don't want to be held on to. And we have to figure out, why am I holding on? What is that within me? What is that? What am I lacking? Do I not love myself enough? What is this teaching me about me? It's never about the other person. It's always about you. I know, because I've lived through it and I'm living through it still. That's how I'm able to come on here and say this to you in all my transparency. I'm done. I love you. I love you because I love me. Oh, yeah. Yes. Get back up. Wash your face. Put on your cute shoes and your cute dress. Unwrap your hair. Put on your lipstick. Put on your lashes. Put on your makeup. Do whatever it is that you need to do to get back to you. And everything that you want to pour into someone else, begin to pour that back into you. And know what that feels like. And know what that looks like. And don't apologize for that. And don't question your intuition. Don't seek validation for what it is that your intuition is coming to tell you. Because it'll never come through another person. Because the message was never for them. It was for you. Trust that. Because it'll never lead you wrong. I promise you that. I promise you. Bye.